What's going on? Hope you guys are doing great. In this video, I'm just gonna do a quick self-reflection, kind of reflect on what we did last month and the things I've learned and what I'm kind of working towards to become better this month. Since you know, I guess the past couple of videos have been more so the things I've already learned, but now I'm gonna start pivoting towards kind of what I'm going to be doing, the things that I've fixed, achieved, stuff like that, so we can kind of see like the raw action. Uh, in self improvement and everything. So last month, I would say, was one of the most transformative months that I've had pretty much ever. The process that I went through last month through the identity shift was huge. So before last month, I was in Thailand and I was kind of on autopilot, to be honest. I was there was not a lot of urgency. There was not a lot of things that are going on. My health wasn't the best. I was eating McDonald's every day, and I would stay up until like it was like 7 in the morning just doing work at night, which I never was able to actually be in the sun because I would sleep in the daytime, go to bed at um go to bed in the daytime, wake up at night to do the work, and sometimes in the daytime I wouldn't really do much. So that period of comfort went on for a while. I was out in Thailand. I still had a really great time out there. I went out there to spend time with my girlfriend. Um, but we were getting stuff and work done, but there wasn't a lot of urgency because I felt super comfortable, and that's when I decided to fly back to the U.S. And from there, I would kind of put everything together, put my all my ducks in one, all my ducks in a row, you know, and kind of build myself back up to a place of urgency, a place of having that drive again, having that push to pretty much go to the next level. So I went from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and I got complacent at level 3, and I decided it's time to kill off this old version of myself and become the next best version of myself. And that's kind of what we did last month, and I was able to transform myself into a completely, I wouldn't say different person, but a much better, a much more refined version of myself that takes relentless action. Because prior to that, I was taking action, but I wasn't fully present for it. And through that last month of a lot of things, I dug deep into my identity, traumas, things that I've dealt with growing up, my confidence, everything like that has completely skyrocketed ever since. And once I have more reflection on that and how I did it, I'll make videos on that as well. But I completely changed in just a month because I made a decision. I made a decision that okay, right now is enough. I'm done being in this spot. It's time to hit the next level. It's time to finish what I started. And throughout that month, I decided to go back into YouTube. I decided to document my journey. If you guys look back, the recent but latest video I made, that made absolutely no sense. The video that I made coming back into making YouTube videos again was when I was about to leave Thailand, and I was walking you guys through it. I kind of want to make more of those videos, kind of walk you guys through the journey. But ever since I came back, I put my health in order, my relationships, my discipline, business. We have an actual vision and direction to where to take things now. My physique is getting a lot better. I'm eating healthier. Everything is in a place, and it's not in a, and I'm looking at things a lot differently than I did like 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, or before I went through that shift. It was very forceful before, and it caused me to go in these oscillations, these emotional oscillations of ups and downs, and the downs hurt a lot more. So I was doing really good, and then I was doing really bad, then I was doing really good, but it felt terrible. And like, not to say that that isn't happening now. I still have ups and downs, but it's not as dramatic or drastic. It's more of like that instead of like and through that, I learned how to detach myself, and be neutral in a sense. Not neutral in a sense where you're completely, numb and deaf and blind to it, but in a sense where I learned how to I learned how to really be present, be more present. I'm still working on it now. Be more present in the journey and look at the journey as more of something that is the goal rather than the goal itself. So back then, all I could think about is I need to hit this milestone, this mark, and every day that I looked, every time that I snapped back into the present, I wasn't there, so it was super painful. So even during those downs, it felt like I was pushing myself even further from the goal. But recently, I was really able to internalize through this past month of self improvement and kind of coming to these realizations that I was able to connect myself back into the drive of enjoying the daily things every single day, putting in the work every single day, just becoming better and falling in love with becoming better rather than getting to the actual goal. And through that, my work, going to the gym, working myself in relationships have been a lot easier. It's been a lot more fun and enjoyable, and actually feels like I'm living. So it doesn't feel like I'm grinding for something that I won't feel happy until I get there, but rather now it feels like everything I do, it's enjoyable. And there's a lot that I want to go into about that. There's a lot to unpack as I make more videos down the line, but I just kind of want to document my journey. And if I come up with things or if I learn something, I'll put it on here. But for now, that's kind of the update for that that was going on before. But now, this month, let's see here. So I have a list of goals here. So this month, I'm just going to put my goals or my targets out there. And one thing that I've changed is in the past, it was mostly outcome orientated in the past, and it was like very far, like far outcomes. Like I would be making X amount, but then I my goal in a short period of time would be making X amount, right? So now I'm setting smaller goals, very manageable goals, and aiming to over or outperform them pretty much, so that in the case you set the problem that I notice, at least with myself and realizing, is whenever I set big goals, like really really big goals, even if I got super far, right, even close to that goal, but I didn't get there, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good because I didn't actually hit the goal. It's better to set smaller targets. I wouldn't call them goals, but have a vision, have your intention towards the main goal, but have your targets as these little steps, and you can compile them as little wins. Same thing as doing it throughout your days too. You want to collect the wins every single day. Everything should be a win, and that's how you can kind of enjoy um, the day to day a lot more. Like waking up on time's a win. Eating healthy for that day is a win. Having a new conversation, that's a win. And then you start stacking these this confidence, and you start doing the things you say you're going to do, and you feel much better about yourself. You start to enjoy every day. You trust yourself to get what the job is done. But yeah, with that framework, with that mindset, I've been setting targets for this month. So I'm just gonna say them now. Some of them are outcome orientated, and some of them are input orientated, but it's not all outcome. So my first goal for this first target for this month is automate 50% of my onboarding system in my business. So that means automate practically half of everything I have done. I think I can automate most of it, but I'm just going to say 50% so I can reach that a lot easier and push further afterwards and over deliver for myself. It'll save me time, give me more time, and figure out revenue driving tasks. Right? That's another project I'm going to get into, but my next target would be hit 165 pounds. So that's in 4 weeks, hit 165 pounds. I'm trying to cut down right now. Right now, I'm around 168, 169. I just want to lose, 4 pounds. My lowest point was a couple days ago. Subtracting water weight was 167. So really, I need to just lose 2 pounds this month, which is super easy. I know I'll lose more body fat, but I'm not trying to pressure myself into it. It's an eligible and easy goal to actually hit. So I'll feel a lot more confident hitting that as long as I follow my diet and go through the inputs, right? Start cutting off work at 7 p.m. So I wake up super early. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Uh, One problem that I had the past month was I would continue to work past my bedtime pretty much. And what that did was that fucked up my circadian rhythm, which I felt tired the next day. And I noticed that I was still putting in the inputs, but it wasn't as well as if I took care of my sleep. I took care of my rhythm and my actual health. So the goal this month is to be able to fix my health up, fix my sleep schedule to where I can basically get more done in a smaller period of time because my mental capacity is much more broad. It's I'm not tired. I'm not fatigued. So that's another thing is start cutting off work at 7 p.m. because if I continue to do that and I don't wind down, I tend to, even if I go to sleep on time, I tend to not be able to fall asleep because I'm stuck in a loop of trying to solve a problem, right? My next thing would just be to finish a book. I used to read books a lot more often, but then I stopped. I want to get back into it because during those times I learned a lot about business, about the self. I was able to articulate myself a lot better, and that's a skill that I want to develop. So I just want to set one easy goal this month and just finish a book. And on my habit tracker, I just have read at least 1 page a day. And I'm not going to say read 10 pages, 20 pages, because that makes it look so much bigger. But once you open up the book and you read that 1 page, then you're like, I might as well read two, and two, I might as well read three. It just makes things a lot easier if you set your target for the day as to just doing the first step. Like, you know, if you're going to the gym, make the target of putting on gym clothes, and then you're like, oh well, I'm in gym clothes, might as well drink my pre-workout and then walk to the car. I'm in my car, might as well drive to the gym. And once you're at the gym, it's just little things that you build up instead of saying I have to go to the gym, and then there's this huge gap. So you want to look at the little things in front of you first that help you get to the next thing, right? So you're more present, you're more taking the smaller steps, the smaller wins, even if that means that something is getting changed for the gym, right? So that's my mindset behind finishing a book. Just one book this month. I could do two, three, four, five, doesn't matter. And on my habit track, it says read 1 page. I could do 5, 10, 20, 100. It doesn't matter. As long as I get that 1 page, then that's a win. But that 1 page is going to compile into other wins and other things down the line, right? So it's about opening the door and not looking at the door as something that's this huge and scary thing that you don't want to, come close to. Another thing is just build better repeatable process for fulfillment. So I run a social media marketing agency. Pretty much right now, I am practically the service. I'm trying to free myself a little bit better so I can actually spend more time improving it as a business owner operator, rather than someone that's always in the field, right? If you're in the field, you're doing the actions and the work. You can't step back and actually see what needs to be fixed, what needs to be improved, because you're so busy and mentally occupied doing the thing, right? So same analogy for those of you guys that are in the gym. If you continue just to go to the gym, push the weight, but you have nothing tracked, you don't have time to think about your diet, your goals, or things like that, or your progressive overload, you're just going to be stuck in the same spot doing the same thing, getting the same outcome. But you see, I'm trying to push myself out of that position so I can see myself and what things are going on, what needs to be improved, what needs to be fixed. And another thing I'm going to start doing with that is I'm going to start spending at least one day to do, instead of like a full 10 hours of work, just cut that in half, and then half of that would be me sitting with a journal and just writing the things that I need to improve on, writing my thoughts down, things like that, because I feel like for the past like 6 months it's just been action, 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 and now it's time for me to step back and become more of a brainstormer, a thinker, and kind of take that position and take myself and figure out how to solve problems and take myself out of the business, right? Another thing is, it kind of ties into the start cutting off work at 7 p.m. Start waking up at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 to 5, no matter what, unless planned otherwise. Because one big thing that I was doing last month was I would tell myself um, I would wake up at a specific time, whether it's always 4:30 or 5, right? And what I would do is I would end up staying up late, and I would make an excuse and say, well, I need my 8 hours of sleep. That's going to help me. But in reality, my circadian rhythm was so all over the place. Like one night I'd be sleeping at 8:30, the next it'd be at 12 o'clock. That's not going to help me anyways. I'm still going to feel like crap the next day because I didn't stick to the same schedule. So now I'm making it non-negotiable to start waking up at 4:30 in the morning, 4 to 5:30, no matter what, unless planned otherwise. And I set this very easy to myself. It's not strict. I wrote down at the very least 50% of the month wake up at 4:30. So not 5, just 4:30, right? I've already done three days of this month so far. It's the fourth. Waking up at 4:30, so it's working. Now I just gotta figure out how to fall asleep sooner. So the next thing is, this is business goal wise, for those of you in business, but it's for us to run paid ads. So at the end of this month, our goal is to put some leverage aside, build out a plan at the very least, and start running paid ads so we can take ourselves out of the day-to-day appointment setting process, the grind and hustle in of it, and we can start, running paid ads, and we can start using the cash that we collect in the business as leverage and bringing customers in, and then start hiring out. So that's the goal. That's obviously not the main target, but the main target is just to plan it out. But the goal is to over deliver. over deliver on the target itself. But yeah, that's kind of my accountability post for today, and a quick update and kind of what's going on. If you guys have questions about how I structure my day or things like that, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. The next soon there's going to be a video I'm going to make where it's going to be the I thought of a name about this because one of my friends called me Batman. Um, it's going to be called the Dark Knight Protocol, right? It's going to be called the Dark Knight Protocol. It's basically going to be me breaking down how I was able to go from me in another place, you know, having a shit diet, having shitty sleep, sleeping like 4 hours a day. My work was very difficult. I had to force myself into becoming from that to being able to, in just a couple of weeks to a month, transform myself into a completely new person, one that takes relentless action and enjoys the action so it doesn't feel like work all the time. So I'm going to make a protocol video on how I did that. And but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you like the content. Catch you guys in the next one.